Well, Spurs pull off the upset here against Manchester City with an impressive 1-0 win, and speaking of Spurs, you gotta admit, tonight was a very impressive performance by them, especially for them to neutralize Manchester City's front attack. Like, this game proves to you that Spurs, they can win even without Harry Kane, because, Harry Kane, his fitness wasn't, at the top here. That's why Harry Kane wasn't even included in this starting 11 today for Spurs. Now, as you people know, Harry Kane has been linked with Manchester City for £160 million, but one reason why I think Spurs are keeping Harry Kane for another season, because I've read that Spurs still want to keep Harry Kane because, I think that they still believe that Harry Kane is still a very crucial part of their team. Now, one of the reasons why I think Harry Kane hasn't been suiting up for Spurs practices is because, I think that Harry Kane finally, sees what his worth is. Now, I think it's very easy for people to ridicule Harry Kane, but the way how I see it, I think the reason why Harry Kane, wants to get paid and wants to secure that bag is because, Harry Kane, I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. He's already proven that, he's definitely worth 160 million. Do I think he's worth 160 million? In a way, yeah. Now, I know I might sound ridiculous for saying it, but given Harry Kane's time already with the Spurs, he's been a big contributor to the club, by just going on these crazy goal-scoring sprees, and his goal-scoring record speaks for itself. And it's like, if you put yourself in Harry Kane's position and you scored all these goals for Spurs in the last, 5 seasons from the time he started with the club, then, who wouldn't want to get paid, 160 million? But just tonight, man, looking at Manchester City's performance, it was just completely lackluster, and I really don't know what to say about City's performance, but they just completely looked lost today. I mean, seriously, Spurs just were absolutely clinical today. Heung-min Son with a beautiful goal to help Spurs secure their first 3 points of the season. And speaking of Sonaldo, man, Heung-min Son, I mean, he continues to show why he's the most underrated player on the Spurs. Just because having Son on the Spurs is like having a mini version of Ronaldo, just because, I think there's a good reason why people called Son Sonaldos, because tonight proved it again, man. Son just with a brilliant goal to help, Tottenham win the game. And I just think tonight with Manchester City, because without a striker, I do imagine that Manchester City are going to struggle against big clubs, and that's probably the main reason why I think Manchester City are willing to pay 160 million for Harry Kane, is because, I mean, Manchester City, if you think about it, they lost Aguero, and they really need a striker, because this game has proven why Manchester City need a really solid striker. And I think that Harry Kane going to Manchester City would benefit both the Spurs and Manchester City. But say that Spurs do sell Harry Kane for 160 million, I think that then the Spurs would get even better, because they could use that money to help rebuild themselves. And I think that this is kind of like a rebuilding season. Well, I thought this was going to be kind of like a rebuilding season for the Spurs, but it's just Spurs today, man. They play their hearts out, and that's what you got to admire about the Spurs team, is just their determination in this game. They weren't afraid to step up to the challenge, and they played Manchester City very tough. But like I said before, without having a solid striker, I think that Manchester City and Pep are going to struggle. And tonight, man, without that solid striker, I think it could have been a different game for Manchester City if they had a very solid striker, because, they lost Aguero, and with Aguero there, I don't think City would have lost this game. But I think that tonight, Man City just completely underperformed. So that's the end of the game here, ladies and gents, and let me know, do you think Harry Kane is worth 160 million or no? And let me know in the comment section below, would you pay 160 million for Harry Kane or no?